2023, they estimated they lost 3,200 high net worth individuals to migration, and a lot of them are settling in Dubai. Hello and welcome to your weekly news dump. My name is Artem. I'm CEO of Akord Properties, and this is your weekly Dubai real estate and life in Dubai news. I literally talk about anything which piqued my interest. Please like this video, subscribe to see more of our videos, and press the bell icon to get notified. Let's get into the news. So, let's start with my week, but make it short because a lot of people drop off during this section.
I've lost her. She's gone. Christ, I'm actually quite boring when I put my mind to it.
A lot of things happening, but nothing to talk about. We've been filming today. We're back into a filming season. This is good news. Expect more vlogs. We actually recently renewed our registration with Akord Properties. I refreshed myself on what they got to offer, and God, Abu Dhabi is cool. Honestly, I need to move to do more Abu Dhabi news and more talking about Abu Dhabi real estate, because things are actually getting really interesting in this front, and there are some really cool offers, and I need to explore that more. So please let me know in the comments if you want to see some live stream or some content specifically about Abu Dhabi. On to real news then. So let's start heavy. Let's start with actual real estate statistics, and a very interesting one. So sales of homes worth $25 million or more in Dubai have doubled. In 2023, we have 56 ultra-luxury properties worth 2.27 billion sold, which is rising from 28 in 2022, so in the past year. And this is what we get in this week. We get an annual statistics coming in. And yeah, in 2023, demand for ultra-luxury homes in Dubai have doubled. Both in monetary terms, almost doubled, and exactly doubled in quantitative terms. We have a couple of those properties on our conscience as unsold. This is great feeling, honestly. It's an incredible job by some of our brokers. I haven't sold any of those, of course. I'm not as good as some of my brokers, nowhere near as good as some of my brokers at sales. And neither I aim to be. I would love my brokers to always be amazing me. But onto the actual meat here, right? Okay, great number. Looks good, sounds good, but what does it mean, right? What it means, once again, what I talked about in one of the much earlier episodes where I was talking about somebody moving their one of 3 Rolls-Royce cars into Dubai, is people feeling comfortable with safety of Dubai. And people are feeling comfortable that in Dubai, their assets are safe, right? So they're bringing in fairly valuable assets into Dubai's economy, and happy to keep it here due to well-functioning legislative system, well-functioning ownership systems, safe society, fairly reliable economy, extremely reliable economy if we're talking Middle East, right? And those are actually more important to us as a metric of success of the economy than actual just volumes of house sales, right? Because sales of this magnitude come with way more consideration, and we can see a huge increase in small ticket sales in real estate and see no increase or decrease in big ticket. That's what bubble looks like, and that's how you identify a true real estate bubble, where when you see big tickets coming in at large volume, that means that even with all due diligence, with best financial consulting in the world, because people paying over $25 million for a piece of property, right? They have access to best consultancies, they have access to best expertise, they might themselves possess some of the best expertise in the world, and that's all being applied, and they're choosing Dubai. And I love that because they're doing my job of analytics for me and doing it better than I would ever do. So I incline to trust those numbers and follow those numbers. We always know that the total sales volume never tells you the story, but quantity of tickets in specific segments is where the real statistic lies, right? That's where you see real information. And once again, Dubai showing great promise. On to the next news. Now on to a piece of kind of ones I cover very rarely, but I do cover once in a while when I feel like I want to talk about them. Those kind of tabloid things. And this one comes with a big disclaimer. I have no idea where the source is coming that this is the video is happening in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or anywhere in UAE. I have no idea. It could be Saudi Arabia, for all we know, could be China, right? But that's what is claimed. I haven't seen any proof, any references to that. But if it is true, if it's happening in Dubai, this is extremely upsetting. So what's going on in the video, as you can tell, man is being chased by a tiger in some luxury villa. And I don't care for the guy. Let him get scratched up, beaten up, get in trouble. Don't care. What I feel bad for is people being so ignorant to kill a wild tiger at home. This is just barbaric. This is not becoming of anyone who should expect to get any amount of respect. Simple as that. And I know Dubai has huge fine. In my terms, it's a huge fine for owning those kind of wild animals as pets. But we don't know. I don't know. Does it have enough of an effect? Is it 700,000 dirhams enough? I don't believe so. I believe it should be a prison term. I believe it should be a criminal offense. Because it's torturing an animal. I mean, do you believe people should just get a fine for torturing an animal? I don't believe so. Once again, I would like to hope and believe it's not happening in UAE. If it does, shame on people who do that. Let's continue a theme of me being mildly annoyed in this piece of news. And I'm not annoyed at the news piece itself. I'm annoyed at what preceded it. So don't get me wrong and let me get started. Just listen me out, all right? Dubai ruler Sheikh Mohammed visits One&Only Za'abeel and obviously gives it his mark of approval to this iconic, incredible building, right? And the building now becoming extremely popular. Problem with that, I took numerous clients on tours there about half a year ago or so, a bit more, let's say 7-8 months ago, and I would show them around. My brokers would show them around. We would constantly have somebody over whenever they're shopping in this kind of budget ranges potentially, or this really fits their requirement and they decide budget based on their needs, not their means, which is incredible luxury to have, right? And we show them that building. And first of all, it's a big drive from Palm and Jumeirah, where they usually consider apartments. And even a bit of a traffic jam to overcome driving from downtown, right? And we bring them there, and they don't quite understand where they are, although they are in DFC. And yeah, when people are relatively new to Dubai, DFC says nothing, right? Doesn't mean a thing to you, and it's one of the oldest skyscraper areas in UAE. Some buildings there are obviously a little naive and early era of this development, and people just assume it's not as outstanding, right? But you start exploring the area and you realize the whole area is full of incredible establishments, incredible quality of craftsmanship in residential and commercial properties. And you bring them there and they're worried, oh, what? What's going to be around? Are they building more? And yeah, they're building more in Za'abeel area now. They held on to some land to develop it later when they realize where it's going, what it's doing, right? And there was no specific plans, but I would say, yeah, of course, this land is virtually made of gold, right? It's gonna be built on. Nobody gonna keep it as a empty plot for long. But we don't know what it is, so I cannot promise you how and what gonna be built. And that worried them, but I assure them that it's gonna be great neighbors to have, because simply put, Dubai wouldn't sell it to just anyone, and a lot of land there belongs directly to royal family, and they ensure that if they sell or donate their land holdings, they donate and sell it right. Dubai royal family actually is really good at doing that sort of thing. They're really smart and foresight of that stuff. So One Za'abeel is managed by One and Only. The finishing quality of apartments is second to none. Location will be second to none. Amenities are incredible. Give it a couple more months, it's going to be the number one place to go in Dubai for a restaurant, for a dinner. But because people wouldn't want to take those risks and wouldn't want to take this foresight, they would go and opt for something else. In many, many cases, we actually did not sell a single unit there, although we promoted it heavily within our customers. And now we got the same customers and other customers calling me up and saying, oh, you remember you showed me this apartment for such and such price. You know what? Let's come and see it again. We'll consider. To what I got an answer, well, it's gone, long gone. If you said it 8 months ago, it's probably been gone 7.5 months ago, right? And alternatives, similar apartments of similar views, similar value, are going to be 50% more expensive now because the building is launched. People are moving in. Those are incredible properties. One of the smartest people I met in real estate actually got himself his personal apartment. It's one of the reasons I strongly believed in it, because this guy knows enough for you, so you better listen, right? And now they all want it, but they can't get it at the same price. And now the price is pretty high because, you know, you're not taking any risks. You just buy an incredible piece of luxury. Guaranteed, with MR building incredible buildings right next door. And they're also sold out completely, so no chance there. They're top investors, sold them all out. Once again, if you've been with us 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and we knew about your interest in the area, you would be first in the queue. You would be getting your first picks of that. No problem. We would make sure that happens, right? But you cannot just barge in, come in, and expect that things happen for you in Dubai. Currently, it's a seller's market. Amount of buyers is extremely competitive, and only best prepared buyers with best intel, with good agents, get those properties which are actually worth your time. And once again, once the bill is gone, it's not anymore an investment opportunity in my mind. It's great personal purchase if you don't mind paying a lot for it, but not anymore an incredible investment. It's just good investment now. Oh well, I told you so. Guys, listen to your brokers. If your broker can justify exactly what's going on and tells you, look, the way the market works, everything should fall together, but we don't have any concrete documented proof, go and work with your broker. Look through the things falling in together. Ensure your broker is actually making sense. And once you're sure of that, actually listen to the guy. Go there and take some amount of risk if you want to make some money. Otherwise, anything you buy in Dubai will be incredibly expensive. Okay, on to the next news. So, this one is by Arabian Business, and that's why I was talking a long time ago. UK is absolutely bleeding their high net worth individuals. Day by day, it's less and less. In 2023, they estimated they lost 3,200 high net worth individuals to migration, and a lot of them are settling in Dubai. They settle in many places, but Dubai is one of top destinations. And here, once again, let's talk about why they do that. Well, the number one reason, obviously, taxation, right? Taxes are great in Dubai, not so great in UK. In Dubai, you have zero income tax, zero capital gains tax. You got just 5% VAT. In UK, your taxation goes up to, if I'm not mistaken, 45%. On the top tier, you pay about 20% VAT, and more and more and more, and your cost of living is higher, and you pay a lot of value-added tax on fuel, on your car, etc., etc. And once again, in Dubai, yeah, everything is pay to play, right? Everything is pay to play. You'll spend quite a bit on registering your car, on VAT purchasing it. You'll spend 5%, and you will buy insurance, etc., etc., etc. And you will be spending money on your lifestyle if your lifestyle is luxurious, like everywhere else. And like everywhere else, government will collect something of it. The difference, it will be unquestionably different on order of magnitude compared to UK, right? And this is very attractive. The other thing is, of course, one they mentioned less is safety. Safety is a big thing, right? Exhibit A. This watch, right? In London, in a bad area, I cannot wear this watch, right? It's just not feasible. I'll be robbed. I'll attract all kinds of attention I would rather not. It's not the best look. It's not very socially acceptable. And I don't care if it's expensive watch, right? I just really enjoy it. It's good memory to me. It associates for me with something important in my life. And it happens to be expensive. Fairly. True. But I will not be robbed for this watch anywhere in Dubai. Just not feasible, right? Where in London, it's I wouldn't say it's widespread, but it's a real occurrence which happens to people once in a while, and it's something you have to consider when you're dressing, when you're considering your outfits, your accessories. And that's also a big point, right? People who have certain amount of wealth want to use it, want to have access to using it and to enjoying it. And they don't want restrictions of being afraid to, wear a watch they like, being afraid to let their wife wear the jewelry they gifted them for anniversary, right? Like, it's little things. Obviously, it's petty things. No questions asked, but life, it consists of them. At the end of the day, there's still nice things to be able to do. And then once again, we're talking about social attitudes towards wealth in different countries. Europe lately been more socialist oriented. Lately was a bit less accepting of wealth displays. So once again, that's unpleasant to some people. Became less accessible to luxury cars, all those luxury lifestyle stuff, right? Healthcare system in the UK is not doing well. It's not at its peak performance, let's be fair. I wouldn't badmouth NHS staff or even NHS management, right? Or even whoever is at fault. I'm not here to point fingers. I'm just saying that we all understand that healthcare system in the UK could have been so much better, and it's not. For whatever reason, you pick yours. This is incredibly important as well, right? You want access to good healthcare, and in UAE right now, good healthcare is not cheap. It's actually quite expensive, but it is accessible, right? It's easy to access, and it's still way more affordable than, let's say, in the US, by far more affordable. And the last one, of course, is the risk everybody's talking about, the risk of UK slipping into recession. You don't want to be in the economy when it's in recession. Booming economies give you better opportunities at growth. So that's the thing they consider as well. But either way, I mean, obviously I'm a little biased. I'm here convincing people from UK to move their assets to UAE, right? Obviously I'm a bit biased. But realistically, do your research. Don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. You'll see it's an incredible place to allocate at least certain amount of your wealth and to start expanding it, right? So simply because of that, a lot of people use UAE as and use specifically Dubai as a base of operations. It's a very smart choice, although it is obviously not the only choice. So putting it short, UK is not doing the best. Dubai is doing really well. People moving from UK to Dubai a lot, especially the ones with the means. On to the next news. This article gives us a review of Ed Sheeran new concert in Dubai. Here's my review. Some ginger sang on stage, had some flames shooting. Boring, terrible, don't go there. To the next news. Let's do our weekly transactions. So this week we're back onto it, and let's see what we can tell. $3.6 billion this week, right? But once again, number is irrelevant. Proportions are important, right? And a lot of plots been sold, but only $500,000. So no big single, land purchases by developers, not that many at least. And the vast majority is apartments. So market is waking up from New Year's vacation, getting active again, getting very active again. And what we're seeing is, a lot of plots in upcoming new areas been sold to developers. Quite a few for relatively low. So developers are actually already building and announced their flagship projects, which are great, but which are not always the most accessible and not always the best investment. The interesting investment is what they're buying off right now and what will be the great areas to invest 10 years from now. And entering now would be like having, like being able to see the future, which we want for investment. Great. We always look at those areas, talk to our brokers, they're always aware, right? And they're always waiting for those launches. We can be waiting for a year, but those launches will come, and we will know that those are the ones, right? And we will offer them to our customers. Top 3 apartments and villas is $35 million home in Palm Jumeirah. As usual, Palm Jumeirah is in top 3. And as usual, it's a leader, and it's a villa. Nothing new. Already got used to it. Actually, quite a cheap one this week. $22 million villa sold in Ward Islands. This is where I want to pay attention, right? This is where I want to direct your attention. Ward Islands are not very obvious to me, right? There's a lot of things good, there's a lot of things bad with them, right? And not necessarily the most obvious destination to put your money up. But we're seeing people are trading relatively large values, especially for villas. And that's where I believe it's heading. It's heading to be a villa community. They'll have parking on the mainland shore. You'll have a luxury boat, speedboat to take you to that parking from your villa. You got your own piece of beach, right? Perfect. Works great, but it will take time to come through, right? it will take a very long time to become truly amazing. So see it trade at these prices. I'm not sure. I assume I know which villas are those, and they're really great villas, extremely luxurious. You will be there with some famous and powerful neighbors, really. But even then, I mean, 22 million for a villa, which is going to be built sometime in the future with no real timeline of it's being built, with no real understanding of surrounding area. It's a risky move. Well, I respect risky moves. Let's applaud this mad lad and get on to the next news. And we're wrapping up today with what I was waiting for the first couple weeks of this year. 2023 in transactions. I could have calculated it myself, but I'm lazy. So I waited for that. Let's talk about it. Property price, on average, rose 18% across Dubai. So if you were considering purchase a year ago, but you haven't done it and you want to do it now, you already lost 18% of appreciation. If you're coming in now, hopefully, I would say next year we'll see appreciation of 8 to 10%. I know I promised it for last year, but I will promise you it for this year as well. Let's say we'll never know what's going to happen, but that's my prognosis. So amount of transaction is over 120,000 this year. 120,000 transactions in residential property this year. Please wrap your mind around this figure. It's incredibly fast-moving market. Quite honestly, I love to play with my brokers, guess the rent game, because I would throw some area at them, amount of bedrooms, building, and that's the rent. And they consistently would be a month behind because it moves so fast, right? We're at $500 billion annual spend on real estate altogether. More than 100,000 new residents moved into the city, and even more tourists. So short term is booming, long term is booming. It was a good year anyway, right? It was a good year. It's some great numbers. The articles attached. Have a read. See what you could have been a part of. And that's all for this week. Thank you for making it that far into the video. It really matters to us. Retention is our biggest goal, not the views. Once again, please like the video if you liked it, subscribe to us if you want to see more, and press the bell icon to make sure you know we uploaded a new video. And see you next week.